Now, I wish I could tell you that the first business that I started was successful, but it wasn't. The first business I started was in China, and it failed. My wife and I ran out of savings, and we had to go back to the US with our tail between our legs. In our late 20s, we basically started over again and almost moved in with Tylene's parents, but we decided to make a go of it on our own. So we moved to Brownsville, Texas, less than a mile away from the Mexican border, where we didn't know anybody, where nobody knew us, and most importantly, where the cost of living was cheap. With nothing but a mattress on the floor, 2 lawn chairs in our living room, and a shaky internet connection, we decided together to take our shot at the American dream. The first market where I made any money at all was the Scrabble tile jewelry market, literally teaching people how to make jewelry using Scrabble tiles. Yes, it's a thing. It's a funny story, actually. Tylene came to me one day and she said, there's this new website. It's like eBay for handmade products. It's called Etsy.com. And there's this type of jewelry that's selling like crazy on the website. It involves combining Scrabble tiles with origami paper. And there's even someone on Etsy selling an ebook tutorial on how to make the jewelry. And she's selling like 20 copies every single day at $17 each, which adds up to like $9,000 a month. Tylene bought the tutorial and she didn't think it was very good. She said, I think there's an opportunity here. Now, I was skeptical. This was probably the last market in the world that I would have chosen for myself. But nothing I had tried had worked so far, and I was committed to making something work. So I decided to give it a shot. We created a tutorial that was better than the competition, launched it on Etsy, and promptly sold 3 copies in the first month. Weeks went by and our sales didn't get much better, but we had built a tiny little list of about 100 people who had signed up to get our free tips. So out of desperation, I emailed that little list and asked people why they didn't buy. What I discovered from that little survey, almost by accident, was crazy. We thought that there was one market or bucket that we were serving: women who want to make Scrabble tile jewelry. But there were actually 4 different groups of women who were very different. There were women who wanted to make jewelry with origami paper and Scrabble tiles. There were women who wanted to make jewelry with Scrabble tiles and photographs. There were women who wanted to make jewelry with origami paper and glass tiles. And there were women who had purchased all the supplies to make everything, but wanted to know what other crafts they could create with everything that they had lying around. So instead of offering a single tutorial, we created 4 different products, and then we sold them together as a bundle. Business exploded. We started a website. We sold print copies of the tutorials on eBay. We expanded to sites like youcanmakethis.com and Dawanda. We took that business from 3 sales in that first month to making over $8,000 a month. But as soon as we started getting traction, something happened. Factories in China started selling Scrabble jewelry for super cheap. The market became saturated. Stay-at-home moms on Etsy who made the jewelry by hand couldn't compete, and people stopped buying tutorials to make it. Eventually, people lost interest in Scrabble tile jewelry and stopped buying it altogether. The market completely collapsed, and we were back to square one.